People always told me, be careful what you do. Don't go around breaking young girls' hearts. And mother always told me, be careful who you love. Be careful what you do, cause a lie becomes the truth. Hey, Billie Jean is not my lover. She's just a girl who claims that I am the one. But the kid is not my son. Hey pretty baby with the high heels on. You give me fever like I've never ever known. You're just a product of loveliness. I like the groove of your walk, your talk, your dress. I feel your fever from miles around. I'll pick you up in my car and we'll paint the town. Just kiss me, baby, and tell me twice that you're the one for me. The way you make me feel, the way you make me feel. You really turn me on, you really turn me on. You knock me off of my feet, you knock me off my feet. My lonely days are gone, my lonely days are gone. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. It's Michael Jaden X here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Michael Jackson biopic. And I got these. Thriller, Beat It, and Billie Jean. And I even had to wear what Michael wore in the movie. Hee hee ho ho. Can't forget about the love. So I saw the Michael Jackson movie last month. It came out exactly 1 month ago today. April 24th, now May 24th. I saw it on the 23rd. I got an early screen at the movie theater. And then, about a week later, I came home for the weekend. My mom was taking my little brother to go see it, so I went and saw it again with them. And I loved it. Best movie 2026. Worth the wait. And, you know, it's part 2, so part 2 will be coming out soon, I hope. I'm ready for that. Now, you know, I had to review this movie because Michael Jackson, if you didn't know, is my all-time favorite singer for like a little over a decade. Yeah, I've been a fan since I was a little boy. So, if you didn't see the movie, it covers from his early days in the Jackson 5 up and toward the beginning of the Bad era. So, it goes from 1966 to 1988. Yeah. So, yeah, the movie starts off Jackson 5 when Joe Jackson's getting the band together. And let me just tell you, so people would compare this to Jackson's American Dream, but I will tell you, a lot of the physical abuse is omitted for this movie. Because if you remember Jackson's American Dream from the 90s, like you got a good mix of the physical abuse and beatings from Joe, and also the mental abuse he put the family through. But this one, you only get about 2 scenes of the physical, but then most of them is like mental abuse from when Michael was a kid and up to an adult. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you. So, Michael Jackson is played in this movie by his real-life nephew, Jafar Jackson. And I'll tell you, Jafar did the thing for the movie. Like, I can tell you, they could not have gotten nobody else to play this role. And also, I have to give it up to Coleman Domingo for playing Joe Jackson. I'm telling you, Coleman Domingo's on a roll for being one of those actors that people don't like, because if you remember, he just played Mr. in The New Color Purple a few years ago. And you know the original movie, Danny Glover played that role. And people say that Danny Glover played that role so well that people generally don't even like him no more. Yeah, they call him one of the actors they can't forgive. And Coleman, yeah, you about to be on that list too. You play Mr. and Joe Jackson? Oh shit, you done. I'll tell you. I never realized how much Coleman Domingo looked like Joe until I watched this movie. Same thing for Nia Long playing Catherine Jackson. Yeah, but I will say, as far as Catherine goes, this movie didn't give her as much to work with. I feel like she was a little more of a background character, while the Angela Bassett version in The American Dream was more prominent. And also, Because you remember in American Dream series, when Joe Jackson was losing his shit over the towel swimming pool, it's like, Michael, Marlon, look towel swimming pool, you can get a beating. Catherine was like, Joe, you don't go the fuck to sleep. It is too damn late for this. The way she was hollering at him, she was like, go to bed, Joseph, go to bed. Wow, this one was more the soft spoken, like, well, it was still good though. Yeah. No, so first let me just get into some things that I didn't really love as much about it. Like, let me just tell you, cause I want to do the focus on the positive, but I just need to get the few little negatives out the way. Yeah. I didn't love that I felt like it was missing a lot. Yeah. Also, I'm trying not to be too harsh on it because I already knew Janet didn't want to be included because I wanted to see Janet, but then she came out and said she wasn't going to be part of this. I'm like, okay, so now I expect her. But also, what happened to Reby and Randy? Like, they weren't either because all we saw was Michael, the parents, and the older brothers. Yeah. And LaToya. Yeah, we didn't see no Janet, no Reby, no Randy. No. So, did Reby and Randy not want to be in it too? Because I didn't never hear them mention the movie. I just know Janet was going to be in it. Yeah. But I can understand the family taking a backseat this one because this is Michael's story. American Dream is the Jackson family biopic, so that one's going to have to shed a spotlight to all of them at different times. While this one is more about Michael, so he needs to take a spotlight for this one. So I understood that. And also, where was Diana Ross? You know, Diana Ross is also one of my favorite singers of all time. Just a small step under Michael. Because I know Kat Graham was going to play her. But I looked for her, I was like, where the hell's Diana? Because I was hoping they would show scenes on The Wiz, We Are the World, Studio 54. I wanted to see all of those, but they didn't show it. Because, you know, The Wiz is my favorite movie. Diana and Michael are two of my favorite singers, and The Wiz is my favorite movie, so yeah, I wanted to see that, so I was disappointed with that. So after I saw the movie, I Googled, why wasn't Diana Ross in the Michael Jackson movie? They said legal reasons. What legal reasons? But then I get on TikTok and I find out that people are calling her a groomer. They're basically going on a whole Diana Ross smear campaign. First of all, shut up. How is she a groomer? So because he had a crush on her when he was a little kid, that she's a groomer? I'm like, sure, they might have had like some on and off affair when they were adults. But they were adults. Why does it matter? Yeah, y'all need to leave Diana and Michael alone. Like, I don't care. Y'all can talk all the shit about Diana you want. I ride for Diana Ross. I ride for my queen. And fuck you if you got a problem with it. Fuck you if you took offense to that. Yeah, and fuck you if you believe she's a pedophile. Neither her or Michael are pedophiles. So all y'all can kiss my ass think like that. Okay, I just wanted to get that out the way. We can go back to the positives. I'd say nobody could have played Michael like Jafar did. And every time they had the music numbers, we were up in there singing. Rather than Jackson 5 up until the Thriller era. The Thriller era was my favorite. That's my favorite album by him. And then Bad. But you know. Also, I love the scenes with Bubbles. I know it was CGI, but who gives a fuck? I thought the Bubble scenes were adorable. And also, speaking of like cutting stuff out The Wiz, I wish they also would have showed The Wiz. Not just because I wanted to see Diana, but also would have showed like how Michael and Quincy Jones would start working together. Because they started working together with The Wiz, but when they cut that out, they basically just threw Quincy in there like a background character, and I think he needed to have a bigger role. And John Branca, the lawyer, had a big role than he really needed. So I feel like they could have cut his screen time and then gave Quincy some more. Yeah. Specific things I want to break down are going to be when Michael had that infamous Pepsi commercial gone wrong when the hair caught on fire. Because, if being honest, I blame that commercial malfunction for his death because after his hair and stuff got burnt off, that's when he started taking the pain meds. And the pain meds led to his untimely death. So I'm thinking, well, I wish he would never did that commercial, or I wish everything would have went right. And he'd probably still be alive because he wouldn't have took the meds. But I'll tell you, Joe Jackson pissed me smooth the fuck off with that scene. Like if he wasn't getting on my nerves the rest of the movie, this is specifically because it's talking about when is he gonna back before me? Excuse me, like sir, like, did you not read the room? Your son could have died, retard. I tell you, Joe just can't read the room. I'm like, I know your son didn't just almost die, and you more worried about when he can get back on stage and perform with his brothers when he has to take time out to literally get his health back on straight. Like, I mean, the recover. That's what I meant. Yeah. Also, getting back to Michael was so scared of his dad that he had to fire him through calling a fax number. Because Michael said in interviews that he'd be so scared of his dad that he'd often throw up or pass out whenever he was in the vicinity. That's deep. Yeah. And also, when the movie ends with the bad era, that means it doesn't cover Dangerous yet, but there's gonna be part 2, so that'll cover the rest. And do not expect to have the child allegations of arrest because that was filmed originally, but legally they can't show it, so they had to cut it out, which is fine because I didn't really want to have to see that anyway. Michael's innocent. Y'all need to leave Michael alone, and fuck you if you believe the pedophile rumors. Yep, I said what the fuck I said, and not what the fuck I said. If you don't like it, who gives a fuck? Fuck you. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah. Or what about the scene when Catherine and them told Joe off? They all left the room. The giraffe they had was looking at him in the window. That was funny. Like the way the giraffe was looking, like, now you fucked up, right? Because Michael loved animals, so when he had Bubba, he also had the giraffe. He had basically a whole farm at their Havenhurst house because this is before the Neverland Ranch came about, before he moved there. Yeah. Even when he was a little boy, he was talking about wanting to get a llama, and Mama Catherine was like, "So you want me to get some spitting animal?" Be spitting all over the place because apparently the llamas be spitting everywhere. Yeah. I'll tell you, we all need a mom like Catherine Jackson. Yeah, we do. Yeah. And I do like this movie also covered the bad era because if you want to go back to Jackson's American Dream, like I keep trying not to compare the two, but it's kind of hard not to. The way they just stopped at the Thriller era, at least this one covered bad, so like that. Yeah. Because I'm ready for part 2 to come out so we can get the rest of the story because I feel like too much was missing, but probably because they had to cut certain scenes out for legal reasons. Okay. But from what I heard, they are gonna. From what I heard, they're gonna cover the rest of the bad era. Then they're gonna get to Dangerous, History, Invincible, and all that. So I will be sitting on this chair waiting for that. But that's my video. If you like the video, then hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. Free way to help me out and get my channel out there. And hit the bell so you can know if I post a new video. See you next video. Hee hee.